Myths about what sport will do biologically to women date back to like 2000 years, and these myths still remain hard to shake. But it only takes one determined woman to change the course of history for everyone after her. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the women that ran fast so we can run faster. This is a story of determination, bravery, and attempted murder. Hi, I'm Nandita, and this is Breaking Ground. These deeply ingrained societal beliefs told us that running long distances was dangerous and defeminizing. Women thought that their uterus might fall out if she pushed too hard physically. Of course, we were always made to believe that women were slower than men, so insecurity crept in too, beside other insane myths that we were taught. Ruth Chepng'etich, she just rewrote the playbook at the 2024 Chicago Marathon. She broke the record for the full marathon, and how? She was literally all over my timeline because with some World Athletics match, she had left the men's world record timing in the dust. I'm getting ahead of myself though. Where did this all begin? Who was the determined woman who changed the course so Ruth could run? Kathrine Switzer. That's who. Marathons had been an all-male event for 70 years. That is till 19th April 1967. Katherine Switzer was a German-born American, a daughter of an army man. She started running when she was about 12 years old, when her dad encouraged her to do so because it would help her make her field hockey team. But soon she found that running was where she felt truly empowered, and if you've ever tried it, you know exactly what she's talking about. Later in her life, when she transferred to Syracuse University, she met Arnie Briggs, who was at the time coaching the men's cross-country team. She told him she wanted to run a marathon, and without missing a beat, he said, no dame ever ran the Boston Marathon. Like I said, at that time, women themselves didn't understand that they could run a marathon, whether it was the irrational fear of growing muscular legs or the absurd belief that they would grow a mustache. Society was doing absolutely everything to keep women out of sports. Arnie Briggs challenged Switzer. If she could show him that she could run 26.2 miles, he'd take her for the marathon. Challenge accepted. They trained and trained together, and even though Arnie still couldn't believe it, he signed her up for it. There was nothing about gender in the rulebook or the entry form, and Switzer signed up just using her initials, so the Boston officials couldn't really tell her gender from the two letters, and she was given the bib 261. It was a freezing morning, and in her oversized grey jumper, she was lost in the sea of men at the start line of the marathon. She started the race. It didn't seem like there was any problem, and so Kathrine ran. 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, and then suddenly a press truck spotted her and went crazy. Before she knew it, she was being grabbed by an aggressive man who tried to rip her bib number off. He told her to get out of his marathon and return the bib. Her boyfriend Tom saw this and tackled the man off Kathrine, flinging him off the race. Switzer thought that they had killed the attacker. She didn't know what to do until Arnie yelled at her, "Run like hell." The press truck continued to follow her, taunting her with questions. Fellow runners hurled insults at her as she ran by, but the loudest voice in the crowd came from Arnie, yelling at the attacker, who, by the way, was fine. Kathrine Switzer knew she had to finish the race, even if she was crawling out of it, because it was the only way people would believe that women could do it. And her, Arnie, and Tom all crossed the finish line together. No one clapped for them at the finish line. Most of the people were crabby. Crabby that they had to wait in the miserable cold, and crabby that a girl had proved them wrong. On the drive home to Syracuse, they stopped at a diner where they saw a man reading a newspaper. And plastered all over the paper were pictures of them. They could not believe it. The guys were excited, of course, probably for this one-off moment, but Kathrine knew it was going to be so much bigger. She went on to organize many more marathons and even got the women's marathon in the Olympic Games in 1984. And in 1972, ceremoniously this time, the Boston Marathon became the first major marathon to officially welcome women, with Nina Cusick becoming the first official marathon winner. Now there are female-specific marathons and women's names inundating the registration links of global marathons. Back to Ruth Chepng'etich, a Kenyan woman who shattered the women's world record at the Chicago Marathon in 2024. Her final time was 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 56 seconds, making her the first woman to run a marathon in under 2 hours, 10 minutes. This performance redefined what is achievable in 26.2 miles. Only 10 competitors in the men's race in Chicago beat the 30-year-old's time. The World Athletics has its own system of scoring things based on gender and across disciplines. Their scoring tables show that her performance is equivalent to a men's marathon time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 37 seconds, nearly a minute faster than the current men's world record. Plus, she improved her own best time by 4 minutes. Now, more and more women I know are getting into running. It's known to be one of the most welcoming and supportive communities across genders. Imagine telling Kathrine Switzer that. If you empower women, they can do anything. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of Breaking Ground on the Ready Set Girl show. Today I told you about Kathrine Switzer, the first woman to officially run a marathon. There was another woman though, Roberta Gibb, who was another trailblazer for women in running. But maybe I'll save that story for another day. Thank you for joining our community. We're so happy you're here. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.